What's up, guys? This is the Orion. I'm Nicole Henson.
I'm Roberto Fonseca.
And we're opinion writers for the opinion section, and we're just going to talk about a few topics that we covered this week. So Susan wrote an article about Trump creating distractions in the White House this week, and basically it was covering that Trump's proposed Russia investigation into wiretapping was a distraction for GOP healthcare, and
his accusations of Obama about how I would agree with it's something I agree with completely. I think it's what gets me angry is that the right wingers will not criticize him for that at all. They know what he's doing, and they will not criticize him for that at all.
Exactly.
And they bitch about and bitch. Yeah, they complain about Obama and about and Hillary, especially about the whole email thing. But this is obviously possibly quite even worse than what Hillary was doing, but no criticism at all. Just Trump is just playing the game, politics.
I do think it does say something that the FBI is actually investigating the scandal now, even though Watergate took years to investigate, but the fact that we are even addressing the scandal as an actual investigation is something to be said. But Susan really does a good job of dwelling into that we are distracting from Environment Protection Agency, and that it's getting a 31% tax cut with the new administration. She mentions that in the article, and I thought that was a really cool point. She talks about how we should be discussing that more, and more about student and college affairs.
It's something we probably agree on, so I should go on to the next one then. The binge drinking?
Binge drinking.
Yeah.
I wrote about binge drinking. Honestly, my opinion, I think that we need to, all colleges drink, and I think Chico State holds a really heavy vice on our drinking habits, and we actually have been recognized as the we were ranked 95th in graduation rates throughout the country, and we really brag about that on our website and so on, but we still dwell on the fact that our school has a drinking problem. And I think it's something that we should leave in the past.
I think the university has an obligation to call out binge drinking. I think it's just I don't think it's something they necessarily want to waste their time on, but something they have to just because
safety hazards.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I agree with that, and
that's the only problem I have with this. They have to do this. This is their job. They're trying to prevent alcoholism.
I understand. I think that students are adults, and if they some students may choose to indulge in vigorous drinking habits more than others, and that is honestly on them. That may sound harsh, but I think with the students that do choose to, moderately drink and are responsible with their schoolwork, we shouldn't have to keep dwelling on the party image, drinker school that we have created for ourselves.
I personally, the whole party school thing. I don't think it's a bad thing that we're party school. I think as long as we just get our academics are in order, I think that's fine. I think am I agreeing with you when I say that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a bad thing that we're party school, and I think it's just just the university's job to protect the image of the university.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So,
I think every college drinks, and we really just we hold this huge reputation, and we have ever since 1986 when we were on Playboy, and it's just I'm over it.
Yeah, it's funny that Playboy thing was really just ever since then, Chico's just it's funny because I don't even think we schools like Berkeley and Davis, they probably drink just as much as we do, but just because we had that in notoriety at one point, it was 30 years ago now. That's yeah, exactly. Go Chico. That's good.
Cesar Chavez.
Exactly.
Down.
Exactly. It's funny, and just it's one time. I don't know. I think it's odd. But yeah, I think that's pretty much what we have to say about that one, right? We're good?
All right.
I really want to get to the next one.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
so Roberto wrote a Islam piece. Summarize it for us.
Yeah, it's just me being critical of the religion. People oftentimes say that, well, ISIS isn't Islam, and that's just not true. I lay it out in the article as to why that's not true. It's just more like, and then people don't correlate ISIS with Islam, and that just and then any criticism of the doctrine of Islam is labeled as Islamophobic, racist, yada yada yada. And I called out liberals on that pretty much in the article. So
I think my problem with the article was that you sided with Sam Harris.
Yeah, okay.
And can you explain who Sam Harris is?
What's wrong? Yeah. Oh, Sam Harris is an intellectual who talks about religion. He's an atheist, so he speaks against every religion. But he acknowledges that there's this strain of Islam that is potentially threatening to the world, and that it's necessary to call it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then when he does that, he gets vilified by the left, by liberals.
Well, I think my problem with him is that he really tries to associate Muslims with, and saying it's the same as Christianity, and that Christianity was once. So what is he?
He's saying he says that he's saying that there's that Muslims that there are more, like, when it comes to the beliefs about people, about homosexuality, human rights. He's saying that like Islamic societies are much more intolerant to those kinds of to minorities, to people like that. And then but we won't get those countries, those regimes like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq. They won't get criticized for those regimes. But when you talk about the United States and this supposed rape culture, this white Southern Christians, redneck Christians, those are the guys who get criticized here, and those are the guys who get vilified. And rightly so, they should be criticized. But to say that those guys are the real threat to the world right now, they're not at all. They're not even close. Yeah.
And that's what I think. That's why I have a problem with. So he's been known for saying that Islam is the motherlode of bad ideas. What do you have to say about that?
Really? I think it is. Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Because it's just the Quran supports so many of these horrible beliefs about human rights. There's a quote, and there's a verse in the Quran that says that women are half of a man. There are quotes in the Quran that just are very sexist. I mean, I can't.
Are you religious? You're not. You're not religious at all.
I don't believe in God at all. Yeah.
I'm not religious either, but I can respect to the religion too much as that I don't understand their beliefs. So I think that's why I can't. Oh, Sam Harris, he's so. I don't see it. I don't.
He's. I mean, like, it's just. Okay, so, let's play a game here. Let's talk about like this white Christian, right? If he says something that's homophobic in the name of God, would you criticize him for that? Because it's homophobic, and he's doing it because of his religion. You criticize that easily, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
I would.
You would do that for Muslim people.
I would.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, not enough people do that, and people will not do that. You can play with that whole scenario all you want, but that's just
I think
reality.
That the civil rights issue, though, compared to you're arguing that human rights have like a
let me give you another scenario. I would be killed in many Islamic countries because I'm an atheist. I wouldn't even be jailed. Yeah. Exactly. And I wouldn't even be both of us here in this country, we wouldn't even be in Western societies. Wouldn't even be. Nobody cares over atheists. That's the difference between Islamic countries and Western countries. Those little differences are very important.
But don't you think about there's just more extremists than you are, and I think like Sam Harris is really exemplifying those extremists and attacking them as a whole and making them seem like all of Muslims.
But the thing is,
like
no, that's why it's not. That's the thing. Like, this is another meme that we're told that it's all. I mean, like, nobody says it's all Muslims. As much as you want, actually, you probably disagree with me on that, but no. I mean, I guess.
I think that is my main.
Yeah, the whole
problem, and I think that is like everyone who reads your art who would disagree with you is that that's their main point is that you are exemplifying these extremists.
Yeah, exactly.
That definitely does not define the religion as a whole whatsoever.
Yeah, but it still represents a very radical form of the religion. It's still part of the religion. Let's play another game here. Okay. 52% of British Muslims believe that homosexuality should be illegal. Shouldn't be, you can talk to Christians here. They'll say that they don't agree with same-sex marriage, but they don't care about what gay people do on their own in their own bedrooms. They want it to be illegal. This isn't the fringe, the ISIS guys, the Islamists, the crazy guys, extremists. This is
the religion. Okay.
This is the regular moderate Muslim. It's these kinds of beliefs that need to be criticized. These are beliefs that are horrible. If 52% of white males in this country said that homosexuality should be illegal, we'd be all over it, and rightly so. We should. But the thing is that it's nowhere to be seen when it comes to Islam.
Okay, so I see that, but I also see that as we cannot wrap our minds. We don't understand the religion because we are not part of it, and we could compare that to any religion in a third world country that has completely extremist views from what what we believe in.
I think the thing
and it's just because they're here, so that's why we're criticizing them. You think? Okay.
No, I think not because they're here, just what they've been doing around the world, the terror attacks. I think what the main thing is that did you grow up religious at all? I grew up very religious. I was Catholic.
Somewhat, no.
I was Catholic. I can relate. It's about a belief. It's about belief of ideas and the way that people when you eat a cracker at church, people actually believe that's the embodiment of Christ. That's absolutely it's garbage. It's just not true. But the thing is that these guys, they actually believe they're gonna go to
that is what you believe in freedom of speech, and you believe in freedom of religion, so that
exactly.
is what we are that is the main argument here, is that is what we are trying to accept. And I do not believe in those ideologies that they hold, but as far as the laws we abide and our amendments, that's what we have to
it's just I don't know. I think it's more like more like an attack. More like we need to be able to talk about these regimes. Homosexuals are hanged in Saudi Arabia. I mean, nobody criticizes them, and it's not. These are not broad generalizations. These are they're pupils that say this. Pew Research polls. I had originally written 1,000 words on this article, but it was cut down a lot. But I cited pupils about Islamic opinion, and this isn't some kind of just fringe. This is mainstream belief that apostates should be killed, that homosexuals are immoral, and these are horrible beliefs. That if any Christian nation had held these beliefs, would be criticizing them. Any white Christian male,
right?
And it's just this double standard that we have, and it angers me, and that people just constantly make excuses, like Sean King. You saw the tweet. It's like, Jesus was somebody committed a crime in the name of Jesus. Does that show what Christians are? It's like, yeah, I know it doesn't. But the thing is that it's still a strain of what the religion is. I don't know. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. I think so. Now, after you explain it to me, I think my problem is that you base it off of our civil rights issues more than just criticizing the religion. And I think the ideologies that you presented are completely wrongful. Totally.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a civil rights issue as much as a just standard moral beliefs issue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's you're right. You're absolutely right. I think the only thing is that people talking about this religion is just so toxic. You can't talk about it anymore.
You're right.
And that's that's one of the main points I'm trying to get to. So I think you're right. It is more just out of I want to get rid of religion just as a whole, but I also want to encourage debate and encourage.
No, you're doing. You are bringing awareness to, and that's great. And we need more like you. Well, I think that wraps it up. Thank you guys. If you watch this whole thing, really appreciate it. This is our first one, so bear with us, and there'll be more to come.